Hey, listen, y'all already know. The views and the opinions that are expressed on the Monte Carlo show are not necessarily those of its guests or its sponsors. Viewer listening and discretion is advised. Welcome back to another episode.
Another one.
Welcome back to another episode
Another one.
of the Monte Carlo show. Let's get to it.
This is Nehemiah Shamat, and you are now tuned into my album, Monte Carlo, on the Monte Carlo Show. Shalom.
You're now tuned in to the Monte Carlo show. You dig what I'm talking about? Eat that. Woo!
Yo, it's your boy DJ Kryptonite repping that 100.1 The Beat, iHeartRadio Coalition DJs, and you know I bust them stupid old moves. But right now, you tapped in with my dog, my brother, Monte Carlo on the Monte Carlo show. Make sure you hit that button, like and subscribe, and as always, keep busting stupid old moves, brother. I see you.
What's up, y'all? This Daisy Hunter, a.k.a. Cognac Slim, and y'all already know I'm checking in to the Monte Carlo show. Ooh, this is my song.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the Monte Carlo show. Hey, Up Entertainment. Oh my God! About to take you on a wild ride. It's the Monte Carlo show. We got a lot to discuss. We in the manosphere, and every topic is up. The hello with shalom. The plan and effect is to level up your home. Be the best version of yourself and measure up your own. We all got dreams. Set a schedule for your role when you're setting up your goals. We hard working. This the channel for the truth. This beyond purpose. Get the paper cut green like a lawn service. This a black man channel. I know y'all nervous, but we at y'all service. Anything you want to talk about, let's talk about it. The Monte Carlo show, the truth, we all about it. Perspectives, social push objectives, and we ain't gonna stop till our message is effective. These days, hating is selective, but the Monte Carlo show will always be respected. It's the Monte Carlo show. Come take this ride with us. It's the Monte Carlo show. If you got drive, you up. It's the Monte Carlo show. We getting the streets right. On the road to riches, and every light's a green light. It's the Monte Carlo show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo show. It's the Monte Carlo show.
Hey yo, welcome back to another episode of the Monte Carlo show. I am your host, as you know, Monte Carlo. Today's topic, and I'm back at it again. Today we're going to talk about the legend, Michael Jackson. Recently, he just had a movie that came out, and it's been doing a lot of numbers. Just so happened that his nephew played him in the movie. And from what I heard, he did a good job. I haven't gone out to the theaters to see the movie myself, but apparently his nephew actually played him in the movie. So direct, descendant of MJ, Michael Jackson. And it's crazy because in me hearing about the movie, for one, I found out that both, I think it was Randy and Jermaine, they share the same baby mother, which is wild work. Wild work.
We don't do that here.
Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh no. No, 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 no.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Bruh.
Yeah. Apparently, I think it's Randy and Jermaine. They have the same baby mama. So the nephew that played Michael in the movie was from Jermaine, not Randy. That's wild work. And that's a whole nother conversation concerning that woman that was with both of them, and they both are living still, Randy and Jermaine. I think his name was, well, the guy that played Michael, I think his name was Jafir, but y'all know his name. If you correct me in the comments or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm just looking at this whole situation. I'm an '80s baby. I'm an '80s baby. I was actually born in '83. I consider 1983, as far as like music wise, like the threshold and the beginning of all great music. I feel like a lot of the great music came during that era, maybe a little bit before. We consider like all the James Brown samples and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? James Brown was, I think, the most sampled before the 80s as far as like modern music. And then of course, you had the Jacksons, they were sampled, Michael in particular. But I just think it's interesting because, well, in '83 is when he released the Thriller album. He did Thriller. No, excuse me, the On the Wall album. That was the On the Wall album. And after the On the Wall was Thriller, whatever. And then after that was Bad. So I'm just finding it interesting that people are they're really trying to like show their oh, we love Mike. We love Michael Jackson. And there was a lot of us that did, especially the black community. Like, we really did love us some Michael Jackson. It was it was an undeniable thing. Like, the amount of love we had for, the Jackson family and then Michael Jackson himself, right? So, he did the Off the Wall album, and it was a lot of great music that came out from a lot of people, but he was definitely like at the top. But then as his career got going and going, like as he got older, especially like by the time he hit the Bad Michael Jackson, that version of him, the atmosphere changed for him. Like, I remember even Space to God, I believe it's called Space God or whatever his name is. He be on, he was up on the 85 South show. Shout out to 85 South. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them boys. I love them brothers. But he even brought up the fact that, like, hey man, we was in space and we started how y'all they made y'all turn against MJ and them folk, man. And y'all got the Epstein files. Y'all turned against MJ, man. Y'all to be ashamed of yourselves. You should be. Because me being born at the time that he released his debut album, breaking away from his brothers and from his dad, Joseph, and the Jackson 5 and all them, breaking away from that whole situation. He did his own thing. Then as he got older, gained more notoriety. I mean, he didn't even, I don't know, like, his life was amazing. But this is the type of stuff right here, and I want to just highlight this, because it's confusing to me how much we're trying to glorify him, and which it's not a problem with that. But my thing is, where was all this when he was alive? Y'all was digging this man. And I ain't gonna say it was us, because the everyday working person, honestly, the everyday working person wasn't crashing out on him. It was like the news media that would have us questioning whether or not he was guilty of these accusations about him and children. And I want y'all to just hear a little bit of what he had to say, what he dealt with while he was still with us. Because I believe they offed him. I believe that this is my personal belief. I believe that they did the same thing to him that they did to Prince and so many others. I mean, it's like the proof is in the pudding, the evidence is there, and I don't understand why they keep trying to act like, oh, well, they just, you know what I'm saying, they just keep hiding their hands like it ain't nothing that's going on, ain't nothing happened. I don't see it like that. Let's check out what Mike had to say about certain things here.
That many children have slept in your bedroom. You said, and I'm going to quote here, why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
Yes.
As we sit here today, do you still think that it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course. Of course, why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not. That's how we were raised. And I didn't sleep in the bed with the child. Even if I did, it's okay. I slept on the floor.
Okay, listen to what they said. If you were one of these particular type of people in these categories, in one of these categories, and you sharing your bed with a child, you know, which it's like, okay, listen, I got all this room in here. I got all this, that, and the other, blase. Y'all can sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the floor, whatever. Now, personally, I don't really know. I would have to say, me personally, I don't really know what parent would allow their child, no matter if it's Michael Jackson, whoever, to just go over their house without it being like, okay, well, they're over here spending the night because I have a child that's your age. They go to school together. And then, okay, your child comes over to spend the night. I mean, me personally, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just a matter of, I guess it's a matter of who you are as a person. Mike didn't have a normal life, so to speak. So maybe he looked at things different. I don't know. But he just clearly said these things. Yeah, if you were these type of people, then yeah, that would be a problem. And it's crazy that's coming out of his mouth. Because that makes sense, right? Now, you might not necessarily say, well, I'm going to sleep in the same bedroom. Y'all can sleep on the bed. I'm going to be on the floor. Or y'all sleep at the foot or the head of the bed. I'm going to sleep at the foot or the head of the bed. Whatever the case may be. But I'm not touching y'all. I'm not doing none of that. We're here to have fun. I got my cooks, you know what I'm saying, my chefs. We're going to wake up in the morning. We're going to eat breakfast, whatever. You know, we're going to play some games. We're going to go out to the ranch. We're going to go out to, you know what I'm saying, ride some of these rides and stuff on my property. Then we're going to have lunch prepared. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of like, what are you talking about? Because I'm thinking about the Boy Scout situation back in the day with the Boy Scout leaders and all that stuff that happened that y'all probably forgot about. I'm thinking about the Roman Catholic thing with the popes and stuff like that, sleeping with the young kids, and they're doing the things that they accuse Michael of doing. Y'all wasn't in the uproar about the, you know what I'm saying, the Boy Scouts, the Boy Scout leaders. Y'all wasn't up there. Y'all still buying Boy Scout and Girl. Matter of fact, they don't even sell Boy Scout cookies. They just selling Girl Scout cookies. But that's neither here nor there. But y'all wasn't tripping on that. Y'all forgot about that probably. If you did, go look it up. The popes, the you know, the Roman Catholic priests and stuff like that, or whatever. It's documented that they've been sleeping with children. Then you got the Epstein files and all that craziness going on. Mike wasn't doing none of that. You could hear it in his voice. It don't matter his appearance and how light he got, right? It don't matter that he went from this brown-skinned young man with a fro and was making amazing, timeless music that you can't deny to this day, to this light-skinned, almost like diva-looking type. You know what I'm saying? I get, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, so to speak, with me. Maybe he felt like that looked better for him based on his skin condition and his whatever. Maybe he thought that was a better look based on that condition. I don't know. But let's go to another one.
Regarding treatment for dependency on pain medication, This medication was initially prescribed to see the excruciating pain that I was suffering after recent reconstructive surgery on my scalp. There have been many disgusting statements made recently concerning allegations of improper conduct on my part. These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy end to this horrifying experience to which I have been subjected. I shall not in this statement respond to all of the false allegations being made against me, since my lawyers have advised me that this is not the proper forum in which to do that. I will say that I am particularly upset by the handling of this mass matter by the incredible, terrible mass media. At every opportunity, the media has dissected and manipulated these allegations to reach their own conclusions. I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.
This man said, don't treat him like a criminal because he's innocent. And it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you justify treating a person like this? I mean, this man had to get on a nationally syndicated platform, a worldwide syndicated platform, really, to express this stuff. And do you know how embarrassing and how dehumanizing even having to speak these words could be for a man, for real? Despite how eccentric or despite how different you think he turned out, just to hear it, you got the recordings of this. I mean, I'm looking at his face as he's speaking. I remember this as a kid. And him going through this concerning the media and the news and what people are trying to, say about him. But let's go.
I have been forced to submit to a dehumanizing and humiliating examination by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff Department and the Los Angeles Police Department earlier this week. They served a search warrant on me, which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted. They were supposedly looking for any discoloration, spotting, blotches, or other evidence of a skin color disorder called vitiligo, which I have previously spoken about. The warrant also directed me to cooperate in any examination of my body by their physician to determine the condition of my skin, including whether I have vitiligo or any other skin disorder. The warrant further stated that I had no right to refuse the examination or photographs, and if I failed to cooperate with them, they would introduce that refusal at any trial as an indication.
Wow. Bruh, I couldn't imagine the type of embarrassment and dehumanization and the humiliation of this situation. This is crazy. And this is what y'all put MJ through while he was here. Now all of a sudden his Hollywood wants to come out with a movie, the second one at that, concerning his family and how Joseph was and how the Jackson 5 operated and how they moved and what Michael went on to do and his whole career. When he was here, you was dragging him through the daggone mud. But then you want us to go out, or you want somebody to go out and spend a ticket to go see a movie about a man y'all drugged through the mud that ain't do nothing but show love and make amazing music while he was here? Yeah, he had some ways about him as a man I wouldn't necessarily conduct myself as, but at the same time, I didn't live his life, didn't have his money. So I can't really tell you, from my perspective, I can't really, whatever. But everybody else, since he's in transition, it's been a lot of people saying, yo, Mike was a real guy. He was a real dude. He really, you know what I'm saying? I even heard somebody talk about him having a Crip situation, he was around the gang members, B's and C's. You know what I'm saying? And everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. I mean, it's just, y'all thought he was a soft guy. Y'all thought he was, you know what I'm saying, weak to an extent. But turns out, now that he's no longer with us now, it's like, oh, nah, MJ and Michael Jackson was a real dude, man. Like, solid dude, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't think he was this way until you met him. He didn't have that many good friends around him. He didn't have that many good people around him. So when every opportunity he got to have somebody, you know, solid around, somebody he felt comfortable with, you know what I'm saying, he'll bring them in the fold, and he'll, you know, become friends with them and break bread with them and stuff like that. Let's keep going.
As an indication of my guilt, it was the most humiliating ordeal of my life. One that no person should ever have to suffer. And even after experiencing the indignity of this search, the parties involved were still not satisfied and wanted to take even more pictures. It was a nightmare, a horrifying nightmare. But if this is what I have to endure to prove my innocence, my complete innocence, so be it. Throughout my life, I have only tried to help thousands upon thousands of children to live happy lives. It brings tears to my eyes when I see any child who suffers. I am not guilty of these allegations, but if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give to help children all over the world. It is of loving children of all ages and races. It is of gaining sheer joy from seeing children with their innocent and smiling faces. It is of enjoying through them the childhood that I miss myself. If I am guilty of anything, it is of believing what God said about children. Suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for such is the kingdom of heaven. In no way do I think that I am God, but I do try to be God-like in my heart. I am totally innocent of any wrongdoing, and I know these terrible allegations will all be proven false. Again, to my friends and fans, thank you very much for all of your support. Together, we will see this through to the very end. I love you very much, and may God bless you all.
And you know what, man? And he right, because the scriptures do say, and then just to add to what he was saying about what God said about what the Most High said about children, the Most High also said, when Yeshua walked this earth, who y'all call Jesus, he said, woe to you who cause these little ones to sin. It'd be better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck and you thrown into the middle of an ocean than for you to cause a little one to sin. It'll be better for you to have a rope or some type of thing around your neck that can hold a boulder or some type of huge rock. Tied around your neck is holding a huge rock. You get taken out on a ship or boat and somebody toss you into the middle of the water in the ocean. It's going to be hard to get back up with that thing tied around your neck. It's better to have that happen than for you to cause a little one to sin. It's a shame. It's a shame that they did this to Mike, man. Another reference I want to go to, and I think it's very interesting because shout out to Kendrick Lamar, you know, he's a lot of people's favorite rapper. He's definitely one of mine since day one. Excuse me, I don't know what he's been doing prior to Section 80. Honestly, I don't know anything, but since Section 80 on up, I've been a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. Everything. I knew he, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's another episode where I talked about Kendrick with him going against Drake and stuff like that and blase. But, you know, and I mentioned my sentiments concerning him then. But he has a song called Mortal Men. And I want you guys that, you know, watch this episode, that, you know, when you get a minute, tune in this episode. When you get a minute, I want you to check that song out. It's a song called Mortal Men on his album titled To Pimp a Butterfly. And what he says in that song, Mortal Man, it's called Mortal Man on his album To Pimp a Butterfly. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. He says, I quote, let me see. He says, flaws of a baby step, mauled by the mouth of pit bulls, put me under stress, crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow. Put my back against the wall. How many leaders you said you needed and left them for dead? Is it Moses? Is it Huey Newton or Detroit Red? Is it Martin Luther, JFK shooter, you assassin? Is it Jackie? Is it Jesse? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, when shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? That nigga gave us Billie Jean. You think he touched them kids? When shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? That's what Kendrick said. Go back and listen to Mortal Man on that album, To Pimp a Butterfly. And to hear Kendrick put it, this the whole song in itself is crazy. Needless to say. But he said, how many leaders you said you needed and left them for dead? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, that nigga gave us Billie Jean. You think he touched them kids? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Man, listen. I just really feel like, in the conclusion, that I want to conclude this and wrap this up. I love Michael Jackson, man. There's a lot of souls that we lost that I really, truly miss. Him, Bernie Mac, especially Bernie, man. Bernie, I really miss Bernie Mac. But this particular episode is about Michael Jackson. But it's a lot of souls, man, that we done lost, and that we ask for leaders. And that's a biblical thing too. We'll ask the Most High for leaders and then kill them off. Or leave them for dead. You know what I'm saying? Chastise them. Falsely accuse them of stuff. Lie on them. You know what I'm saying? I just think I really just think it's a, I don't know, man. Like I said, I ain't watched the movie. I ain't in no rush to go to the box offices, to put money in their pockets to see them. I usually do a lot of streaming. I might wait for it to actually stream, one of my streaming platforms to check it out. But I just really feel like, man, when he was here, it was a lot of jokes. It was a lot of laughter. I mean, the man, he accomplished so many the things that he tried to accomplish. He accomplished a lot of things that are just amazing. And then the things that he was trying to do, I really feel like was the main reason for them trying to not trying to off him. They did off him. I wasn't there. I really don't know, but based on the evidence, based on the information, I really feel like they did something to him to take him out earlier than he needed to go. And that's just my opinion. With him trying to, him owning a majority or at least half of Sony, and him having a lot of, he owned the rights to a lot of well-known groups, and he had he owned their catalog. He owned their stuff. Many names that I can't really think of off the top of my head besides the Beatles and somebody else. Mick Jagger. I maybe not. I don't know. Y'all can comment on it. Y'all will know. But he owned the rights to a lot of these major people under these labels. Sony in particular. So, I mean, heck, the way Michael Jackson was moving, hell, anybody that bought a PlayStation, anybody that owns a PlayStation or a Sony camera like I do, I have a PlayStation, I have a Sony camera, I have a Sony Bluetooth speaker device, 2 of them, I believe. I mean, I've been a Sony person for a while, but any investment that you made in Sony, he was gonna get a portion. He was gonna get his part on top of all the other things that he can, he was able to do. He was known worldwide. I just find it funny that you heard what he had to say that he had to deal with during the later portion of his life, as his skin got whiter and whiter, or whatever the case is, due to that, that skin disorder. I just think it's unfortunate, man. For those of us that really care, hey, may his soul rest with the Most High. I hate that he had to leave us so early. And because he left us that early, that just kind of tells me even more that there was something that was not right. There was something sinister and something evil and wicked going on concerning him passing away like that. So, with that being said, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning into another episode of the Monte Carlo Show. I am your host, Monte Carlo. I will be back with another one real soon. But, tell me y'all thoughts on this particular matter. If you want to support this channel in any way, well, I would say my main support reference will be Cash App. You can Cash App the Monte Carlo Show. It's at the Monte Carlo Show, $, the Monte Carlo Show on Cash App. And it should come up. Whatever donations will be appreciated for the channel, for the growth of this channel, for what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to build and stuff like that. I love you guys. Thank you for any support I get. Please make sure that you, of course, subscribe to the channel, like the episodes, share the episodes, leave your comments and tell me what you think about this whole Michael Jackson situation, how you felt about Michael Jackson as you came up as a child, all the things that he's endured and been through concerning these child molestation accusations, how you felt about those things. Do you think it's true? Do you think it's not? Do you believe that was actually the case? Did you ever believe it was the case, or did you just have your own opinion and never believed it, no matter what the media said? Just let me know what your thoughts are. Thank y'all so much again for tuning into another episode of the Monte Carlo Show.
Another one.
And I will see you guys on the next one. All right? And just remember, when you see me, say shalom. I'll see y'all on the next one.
That's all I do. That's all I do.
Hey, yo, I do it, turn it up. That's right.
That's all I do.
Yeah. I'll make you think of
That's
this
all
one.
I do.
Sometimes to be the closest people to is wishing very God. Don't let the helping hand sleep and touch your sabotage. It's only lucky Luciano's in this thing of ours. Don't let the helping hand speed and touch your sabotage. To be the closest people to is wishing very God. Don't let the helping hand speed and touch your sabotage. It's only lucky Luciano's in this thing of ours. Don't let the helping hand speed and touch your sabotage. About my time in the chest, we lost some souls in the street. We can never get back, so we live with regret as we deal with the evils, keeping the back doors locked. When dealing with certain people, the vibes are never deceiving, so please don't let them deceive you. Friends get crossed out for ends. There's some treacherous people. Stay on point like a needle. Keep your head on a swivel. You know the streets gon' plot, cause the plot where they trying to put you. Come on. Look, if patience is a virtue, I've been timing my fruit. That's what I do. The streets don't love you, so I don't love them. That's what I do. If it's earth, wind, fire, guess I'm one with the wind. That's what I do. Hey, mama said if they smiling in your face, you better watch that. People too is wishing bad regards. Don't let them helping hands leave you touch your sabotage. It's only Lucky Luciano's in this gang of ours. Don't let them helping hands leave you touch your sabotage. To be the closest people, so was wishing bad regards. Don't let them helping hands leave you touch your sabotage. It's only Lucky Luciano's in this gang of ours. Don't let them helping hands leave you touch your sabotage.
That's all I do. That's all I do.